All right, today we're jumping into a financial story that honestly sounds like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script. You've got a charismatic CEO, the biggest asset manager in the world, and a $500 million mystery. It's an absolutely incredible story of alleged deception on a truly massive scale. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. $500 million. That's not the kind of money you just misplace or that gets lost in a rounding error. No. According to a major lawsuit, this was the centerpiece of a staggering multi-year fraud. And then it just, poof, vanished into thin air. So who are the main players in this high-stakes drama? Well, in one corner, you have Bankim Brahmbhatt, an Indian-origin entrepreneur, CEO of several telecom and fintech companies. And in the other corner, oh, just BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, handling trillions of dollars. It's a classic David versus Goliath setup, except this time, David is accused of swindling Goliath out of $500 million. So the big question is, how? How does this much money just disappear from the books of one of the most sophisticated financial firms on the entire planet? Well, that's the mystery we are about to unravel. And listen, BlackRock did not pull any punches here. Their own words from their lawsuit called the scheme a breathtaking fraud. Think about that for a second. They're alleging that for years, they were pouring real money into a business empire that was basically a ghost, a phantom built on nothing but a foundation of lies. Okay, so this is where it gets really fascinating. How was this allegedly pulled off? This wasn't some clumsy smash and grab. No. This was an intricate system specifically designed to fool some of these smartest lenders in the world. So let's break down how this paper empire was built, one imaginary brick at a time. To really get how the scheme worked, you first have to understand a concept called asset-based lending. It's actually pretty simple. A company goes to a lender and says, hey, look, all my customers owe me this much money. Give me a loan today, and those future payments are your security, your collateral. It's a super common business practice. But it all hinges on one critical thing. Those assets, they have to actually exist. And this is the alleged playbook, laid out plain and simple. It's basically a 3-step recipe. Step 1, you just invent customers, and you invent the invoices for the money they supposedly owe you. Step 2, you create official-looking balance sheets that reflect all this fake business. And step 3, the grand finale, you take all that fabricated paperwork to a lender and secure very, very real loans against completely fake assets. And the toolkit they allegedly used was pretty extensive. We're talking falsified invoices, fake contracts. They even supposedly created fake email domains for their fake customers to make it seem like lenders were communicating with real companies. The lawsuit claims the entire collateral, everything securing hundreds of millions in loans, existed only on paper. And here's the crazy part. For years, it worked. From 2020 on, hundreds of millions of dollars were loaned out. But then, the entire $500 million house of cards started to wobble, and it was all because of one tiny, almost unnoticeable detail. It's the question you always ask in these big fraud cases, isn't it? How did they finally get caught? You'd think it would be some complex, high-level audit or a dramatic whistleblower. Nope, it was much, much simpler than that. The whole thing started to come undone in July of 2025. One single employee over at HPS Investments, a partner firm of BlackRock's, was just reviewing some communications when they spotted an anomaly. Just one little loose thread that, when they pulled it, would unravel everything. And here it is, the tiny detail that cracked the entire case. The employee noticed an email that was supposedly from a major client, a real telecom company called Bix. But the domain was just a little off. The fake one was bix-telecom.com. The real one, just bix.com. That one little hyphen, that was the whole thing. Just a brilliant piece of detective work. Once that suspicion was raised, well, the game was up. HPS contacted the real Bix, who pretty quickly confirmed the truth. They had never done any business with Brahmbhatt's companies. The fake customer was exposed, and just like that, the illusion shattered. After that discovery, the collapse wasn't just fast. It was brutal. The paper empire that took years to build came crashing down in a matter of weeks. Look at how fast this all happened. In July, the email gets spotted. Soon after, the CEO reportedly just stops answering calls, and his New York office is found totally deserted. By August 12th, not even a month later, He and his companies are filing for bankruptcy. The lawsuit for over $500 million follows right after. A complete and total implosion. And the lawsuit really details a systematic campaign of deception. It accuses Brahmbhatt and his firms of everything from fabricating documents to, and get this, transferring assets to offshore accounts in places like India and Mauritius. And BlackRock wasn't the only one caught in this mess. Another banking giant, BNP Paribas, had helped finance nearly half of the loans. They were forced to set aside around 190 million euros just to cover their potential losses. It just goes to show how wide the ripple effects of this alleged fraud really were. So, with the dust finally starting to settle, what can we take away from all this? I mean, this story is way more than just a shocking headline. It's a powerful lesson about risk, trust, and verification in modern finance. This quote from a financial analysis really just sums it all up. This case has become a textbook cautionary tale. It's a flashing red light warning everyone that asset-based lending, while it's useful, can be incredibly risky if you don't rigorously verify that the assets actually exist somewhere other than the paper they're printed on. So why does all this matter to you? Well, it proves that even the most sophisticated investors on the planet aren't immune to deception. It shines a bright light on the dangers lurking in the booming but less regulated private credit market. And above all, it's a stark reminder of that core financial rule. You have to do your due diligence because paper assets are completely worthless without real-world proof. And all of this leaves us with one final lingering question for our digital age, doesn't it? When so much of our financial world exists as just data on a screen, and documents can be forged with a few clicks, how do we fundamentally separate